Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of HAZRAth MAULANA QAMAR UZZAMAN Sahib Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Friday, the 17th of Sha'ban 1444, corresponding with the English date 10th of March 2023. Hazrat Wala starts off this majlis by reciting the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allahumma inni as'aluka as-sihhata wal-iffata wal-amanata wa husna al-khulq wal-ridha bil-qadr. Hazrat Wala is saying that this is such a comprehensive dua. Rather, it is the dua that will help a person in his path to Allah. In this dua, we are asking for being content, ridha, and happy whatever is destined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now this is something which brings about a great type of consolation. Allah ta'ala has given us such a type of honor that this type of honor will be for those people. This type of privilege will be for those people who are blessed with the wealth of being pleased with the taqdeer of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, when Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib was here, then one night till very late he spoke on this particular topic of taqdeer, and he started quoting ibarat and text of Allama Sharani. Hazrat Haji Imdadullah used to say कि मुझे तकदीर के बारे में शरह सदर है, that I am completely contented, my heart is completely satisfied with this matter of taqdeer. Now, from this also we learn that this is something very, very great, because when you are contented with that, the end result would be कि हर मुश्किल आसान कर देने वाली चीज़ तकदीर है. That taqdeer is such a concept and such a department that when this comes right, it will make everything that seems to be difficult or that is difficult, it will make it utterly easy. I have in front of me, Hazrat Wala is saying, the kitab Salaf-e-Salihin ke akhlaq. I have this kitab in front of me. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of adopting this akhlaq hasana. The actual Arabic, the original kitab is Aina nahnu min akhlaqis salaf. Aina nahnu min akhlaqis salaf. Where are we? How far have we become from the original teachings and character disposition of the pious predecessors? Nevertheless, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala humko munsharih farma de. Allah ta'ala let us also be completely contented and understand well and completely and totally and be happy regarding these great departments. Namely, here we speaking about taqdeer. Hazrat Haji Imdadullah used to also say कि मुझे तौहीद का मसला में इंशिराह है. In the matter of tawheed, my heart is completely and totally at peace and at rest. Now this is something very, very great which he is mentioning, and we see today also that people get jammed up in these things when it comes to taqdeer, when it comes to tawheed, etc., etc. So here Ibn Abdul Barr writes in Al-Ilm that Ibn Wahab said, I was attached to ibadat before I commenced seeking knowledge. Shaitan caused me to focus on Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam and put thoughts into me about how Allah Ta'ala created him and so on. I complained to an alim about this. He said to me, Ibn Wahab. I replied, yes. He said, seek knowledge. Subsequently, this became the cause of my seeking knowledge. When a person has knowledge, then these type of things, he's then well rooted and well grounded. So he's not troubled by that, but rather he has the desired amount of knowledge to understand them correctly. Ali ibn Muhammad ibn Aban al-Qadi relates that Abu Yahya Zakaria as-Saji said, that Al-Muzani said that I thought to myself that if there is anyone who can remove the misgiving that I have about Tawheed, then it must be Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. Now look at this here. The word Imam is mentioned. Adab. Adab ka lihaz. Taking into consideration and keeping in its place adab, culture and respect. And then rahimahullah, may Allah's mercy be upon him. Today we have these callous people that they are bare adab. They don't know what is respect. They say Shafi'i. They wouldn't even say Imam Shafi'i. They wouldn't say rahimahullah. So adab is something very, very important. Hazrat Shah Anwar rahimahullah used to speak so highly about Imam Shafi'i. Rather, he would go on to say that you saying about this ikhtilaf and that ikhtilaf and the Hanafi school of thought and what is our dalil. And then he would go on to say that if Imam Shafi'i has to walk in here today, nobody would even look up and nobody will even have the guts to talk. A man of such knowledge, such taharat, such piety, such akhlaq. So Sharh Sadr is a very great treasure and a very great wealth. It is that same wealth that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam begged Allah for. Rabbi shrah li sadri. That, oh Allah, bless me with sharh sadr. Open my mind and my heart so that I can be completely contented regarding these different aspects. Alamgir, okay. So he said, I went to Imam, what did he say? I thought to myself that if there's anyone that can remove the misgiving that I have about Tawheed, it must be Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. I therefore went to him when he was in the masjid in Egypt. I sat before him and said, there is a question about Tawheed which is lurking in my heart. I know that there is no one equal to you, there is no one to equal you in knowledge. What answer do you have in this regard? He became angry and he said, do you not know where you are? I replied, yes. He said, this is the place where Allah drowned Fir'aun. Meaning he was trying to tell me, what's wrong with you? Hold your tongue. Do you want to be drowned? Don't you know what Allah done to Fir'aun in this very same place? Do you not know? Do you know whether Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam permitted asking any question about this? I replied, no. He said, did the Sahaba speak about it? I replied, no. He asked, do you know how many stars are there in the sky? I replied, no. He asked, do you have any knowledge about any single star? Do you know its species? Do you know anything about its rising and setting? Do you know from where it is created? I replied, no. He said, you are seeing something of the creation with your own eyes and you know nothing about it, yet you want to speak about its creator? Allahu Akbar. He then asked me a ruling about wudu, and I did not know the answer. He then presented 4 different scenarios about the ruling of wudu, and I still could not choose the correct answer. He said, this wudu is something which you have to do 5 times a day, yet you cast it aside. You cast aside knowledge about it, and you do not want to speak about the knowledge, and you now want to speak about the knowledge of the Creator. Whenever you experience any misgivings about Tawheed, Imam Shafi'i is saying this, you must turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to the following words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَإِلَاهُكُمْ إِلَاهُ وَاحِدٌ لَا إِلَاهَ إِلَّا هُوَ الرَّحْمَنُ الرَّحِيمُ إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, and then till the end of the ayat. The deity of all is you, and the deity of all of you is only one deity. وَإِلَهُكُمْ إِلَهُ وَاحِدٌ. The deity of all of you is only one deity. There is no deity except He. He is very compassionate, extremely merciful. Surely in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and then goes right to the end of the ayat. So obtain proofs from the creation for the Creator, and do not go to pains in learning about things which are beyond your intelligence. What happens after that? He says, I then repented. I made tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat Alamgir asked one of his ministers regarding the sunnats of wudu, or was it salat, and he couldn't answer. And then he said to him, why don't you go to the ulama and even take a tuition, pay a tuition fee and go and learn these things? So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib used to then go on to say that if you do not appreciate the Quran, Allah Ta'ala will make it such that you are unappreciated amongst the people. A person came to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib, and then he says that my daughter has run away. And then he says, to him that you are responsible for this year because this is what you done, and that was the end result of it. You left her alone like this year. She went to the university, she became azad, and then it was irtidad, dahriyat, apostasy. Nevertheless, this person, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib, was even making ilaj by him. But it was a straight, frank answer that he told him that, listen, this was the root of the problem. You actually done this and you are to blame for it. But he did not like that type of an answer, and he did not like that. He never came back again. Today, when we cannot even understand secrets of governments, then how would we understand some other great secrets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and which we are going into and trying to find out this and trying to find out that? There was a person who came to me in Bombay, Hazrat Wala is saying, and then he says to me that there is certain person, and can I think bad about him? So Hazrat Wala said, absolutely not. He says, but this year and that and the other. And I said to him, then too you should not think bad about him. And then Hazrat Wala goes on to say that you should leave things upon its apparent nature. After that, you should not start digging into the secrets of people. And today also people ask such type of questions about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is Allah doing now? Etc. etc. People come and they speak for hours on end on useless, futile things, that my dream was like this year, and I done this year, and I done that. So Abul Hasan Abdul Malik Al-Maimuni relates that a man said to Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, I went to the Khalf, to Khalf al-Bazar to advise him, because I heard that he relates this hadith from Ahwas on the authority of Abdullah. That ma khalaqallahu shay'an a'zam. Ma khalaqallahu shay'an a'zam. So Imam Ahmad rahimahullah said it is not appropriate for him to relate that hadith in these times. He was referring to the tribulation which he was put through. The full text of the hadith reads as follows: ما خلق الله من سماء ولا أرض أعظم من آية الكرسي, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create any sky or earth greater than Ayatul Kursi. When people presented this hadith to Imam Ahmad rahimahullah in the course of his tribulation, he said, here the word khalaqa is used to refer to the sky, earth and things similar to it, and not for the Quran. Now look at this here. Here also we learn, Hazrat Wala is saying that we should not, it may be in the hadith, it may be here or it may be there, but we do not quote everything at every given point in time. Al-Dhahabi said, it is the duty of a muhaddith to abstain from popularizing a hadith amongst the masses from whose outward meaning the enemies of Ahlus Sunnah, such as the Jahmiyyah and those who follow their desires, can support as proofs and evidences. This is because if you are going to relate a hadith to people which their intellects cannot understand, it will be a fitna for some of them. Do not conceal knowledge, which is knowledge in reality. Do not relate it to ignoramuses who will then clamor against you, or to those who will take from it a meaning which will be harmful to them. Al-Murawidi relates, I took Ibrahim al-Husri, who was a righteous man, to Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah. Ibrahim said to him, my mother saw such and such dream about you. She also made mention of paradise, Jannah. He said, brother, people used to relate similar dreams to Sahal ibn Sulama. And he began going out and shedding blood. He added, a dream ought to please a believer and should not deceive him. Al-Hussein al-Ataki said, I heard Ibrahim al-Harbi saying to a group of people sitting with him, who do you consider to be a stranger in your time? One of them said, a stranger is one who is far away from his hometown. Another said, a stranger is one who has left his beloveds. Ibrahim said, a stranger in our times is a righteous man who lived amongst the righteous people. When he enjoins good, they support him. When he prohibits evil, they assist him. When he needs any worldly item, they bear the expense to obtain it for him. Then they all pass away while he remains alone. Al-Dhahabi said, Tasawwuf, striving in worship, and love are things which came to us via the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They refer to being pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, waging jihad in Allah's cause, adopting the etiquette of the Sharia, which includes reading the Quran with contemplation and reflection, performing salah with humility, fasting sometimes and abstaining from fasting at other times. This refers to the optional fast. Doing good to others, giving preference to others over oneself, teaching the masses, humbling oneself before the believers, and being firm against the unbelievers. Together with all of this, a person must believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone guides whomsoever He wills to the straight path. If a scholar does not have tasawwuf and worship in his life, he is empty. Allahu Akbar. If an alim does not have tasawwuf and ibadat in his life, he is empty. And if a Sufi does not have knowledge of the Sunnah, he has slipped from the straight path. In his biography on the Abbasi Khalif, Al-Mustanjid Billah, Al-Dhahabi writes, if a leader possesses sound intelligence and is firm in deen, the condition of the country becomes good on account of this. If his intelligence is weak, while his religiosity is good, his religiosity will prompt him to consult people of insight. In this way, his matters will be right and the conditions will prevail in a sound manner. If there is a shortcoming in his religiosity, but he is of sound views, the country and the populace will suffer. This is because his sound views will prompt him to set right his country and his populace for worldly reason and not for the sake of righteousness. If there are shortcomings in his intelligence and in his deen, corruption will prevail. The general population will be wasted and they will be fed up with him unless he has the quality of bravery in him and he commands awe and authority over the hearts of people. In such a case, the condition will be somewhat okay. If he is cowardly, lacking in religiosity, he has no views of his own, he is extremely oppressive and tyrannical, he will be prone to every quick fitna and tribulation. He will be removed from his position and imprisoned or killed. The world will be taken away from him. His sins will engulf him and he will express remorse at the time when it will be of no avail. It will not avail him in any way. Today we are in despair as regards finding a righteous leader possessing all good qualities. If only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could provide us with a leader with many good qualities and few evil qualities. But who is there amongst us who is of such a caliber? O Allah, rectify the leaders and the subjects. Have mercy on your servants and inspire them towards good. Strengthen the rulers and help them with your inspiration. Help them with your inspiration. This whole kitab is like this. It is full of nasihat. Now let's just look at the masala of taqdeer there and how he goes on to say to him that did you understand the stars? Did you look at the sky? Do you even have knowledge of one of the stars there? Then how come you're asking this question and that question and the other question of the creator of the stars when you cannot even understand the great and supreme creation that he had created? You know, we speak about, Hazrat Maulana Ali Mia Sahib used to say, we say Dawr Jahiliyat, the days of ignorance. That was the time of pre-Islam. But today as well, it is nothing other than Dawr Jahiliyat, the era of ignorance. However, we do not perceive this. We do not understand it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with ilm nafi' and good character. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with strong iman. Give us good character. Give us fikr and concern for our islah, and give us complete peace and itminan, total belief in this great department of تقدير. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.